Cole Hester had to give Gareth a 0. Oh my god! Beth and Gareth, what has happened? Equestrians, let's debrief episode 3 of the Mochara All-Star Academy while I get ready. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. So Beth is at the top with 4. We all know how I feel about the Reels Challenge. Personally, I don't agree with the leaderboard stance. That's nothing against Beth, by the way. I actually think that, you know, she's a good rider, got a great horse. I love her story, I just don't feel like the judging was very good. Gareth and Jade yet to score. Can I just say, oh my god, I loved this episode. So the first challenge was the freestyle dressage to music. It was actually presented remotely by Spencer Sturmey and Cole Hester, which is insane. I'm pretty sure Spencer Sturmey is the presenter who presented at the Olympics. Am I wrong? Have I got the wrong person? But I'm sure he did. And then obviously we all know who Cole Hester is. Spencer Sturmey introduces each of the candidates. Didn't like that we just kind of heard the same things we know about these people. Jade was on Love Island. Like, oh my god. There's more to Jade than that, I'm sure of it. I feel like by this point, we know who the candidates are, okay? I'm gonna finish my hair and then let's talk about the freestyle dressage. I'm very aware of how this precariously positioned curler looks, but I have to put it in between my legs to get the next piece of hair, so let's just pretend that it doesn't look weird. My dogs are playing in the background too. All you can hear is Sooty very vocal. So let's get started. Chucking some primer on. First we had Andrew and Bonita. Bonita. Really impressed me. If anything, I was expecting him to be perfect. Yes, I am putting my foundation on with my fingers. I just can't find my sponge and I need to hurry up. This is called Real Life. The halt at the end and Cole Hester saying that it was a perfect finish was crazy. Amazing. You know what's really funny? My sister's a makeup artist, so I kill her with the way I put makeup on. I loved the way that Carl was judging. He was very fair. He even said, and I think Spencer mentioned to him, that people are of different levels of experience, everything. That is exactly how it should be. However, it wasn't exactly fair. Jade and Katie were next. She was riding her golden oldie, she tells me, called Katie, which is amazing. They must have agreed that with the show. Their music was so good. So jazzy. I love the way that Cole Hester judges. He talked about why things are important, like for example having the correct diagonal so that it can help balance your horse. It's not just so that you can shout at someone and go, you're on the wrong diagonal. The show kept cutting back to the contestants because they were obviously watching back the judging right there and then, and I can only imagine how it felt to be like recorded and trying to hide either your disappointment or absolute excitement that Cole Hester was just nice about you. Even Meg at one point, can we just take a moment because Cole Hester said my name? I love that for her. She's just so relatable. She's an icon. I love Meg. I don't love how this brush has put a stamp on my head though. Just gonna do my brows with like this weird little stick thing because I need to dye my eyebrows, but I just don't have the time. Again, my sister does that. She's a beautician. Amazing at what she does. Shameless plug for the family. Oh my god, when Cole said, oh, scrappy transition for Jade, I was like, oh my god, I feel for you, Jade. That would be me, to be fair. I'm not very good at dressage, but I do have something coming for you guys to watch. Fifi, she was wearing white competition breeches. Well, I think they're white breeches for competitions, but then like a red top. She looked like she was about to go show jumping rather than dressage. Funny when Cole Hester was like, let's be positive about it. I was like, does that mean that you don't think it's very good? But she actually did a decent test. A bit of tension in there, he said, which I feel like for Earl and I, we would be the same. Earl is very tense as a horse, if we haven't gathered yet, for the new people here. Oh my god, let's talk about Gareth's music. Or the lack of. If you don't have any music, then you're not doing dressage to music. Kind of the objective of the actual thing. Cole Hester had to give Gareth a 0 for the music. That is such a shame because he did a lovely test in my opinion. I don't know what happened there, but I feel like if you're having trouble with your music, surely he's reached out to them, which he probably did. Like, why wouldn't you? I guess they couldn't put the music over the top for him because it would kind of be unfair. So that's really sad. I feel like I am the type of friend that Andrew is. So when Spencer turned around and said, so Gareth knows he's going to get low mark for not having the music on the test, it cut to Gareth and he's like holding his face like with his coat to be like, oh my god, I'm dying. And then Andrew's there like sympathetically dying with him. It was so funny. Loved that Cole Hester was giving little bits of learning. He's talking to us too. Like for example telling us that when you halt, you should count to 3 seconds. I'm going to now remember that for the rest of my life. I just have to do my mascara over here because I can't cope like looking into that screen. I love the bit where Gareth's doing the, I think it's like the medium walk on a long rein. And he's like, the horse is relaxed, but that's not a medium walk on a long rein. That's the kind of thing I'd do. I'd be there like, well, it's a walk. So I feel like that's okay. I had to leave in this jump scare because look at that angle. It looks so funny. I'm clearly not a beauty vlogger, but it's hilarious. I mean, I already knew that I loved Carl Hester. Don't get these icons these days. And the reason for it is that they're not made yet, in my opinion. It's because of the years of experience. It's because of his passion, his knowledge. He's a master in the field for not just dressage, but training horses especially. And that's why when he's giving the nod to the training scales, he's giving the why behind his constructive points, his positive points. He's doing it all, and he's able to apply that really quickly and draw out that knowledge so fast because he's a master of it. Here we've got the perfect person for the job. When it's the perfect person for the job, you can understand why the top was the top and the bottom was the bottom. And then we were on to Beth. Oh my God, Beth, what's going on? She recorded the wrong test. She went into the diary room afterwards and said, like, who records the wrong dressage test? Me. I feel so bad for her. Did you not check? Did no one check? To happen in a show like this where, you know, the marks were impacted because of it, because obviously it wasn't fair. He didn't know where she's going to do the moves because he didn't know the test she was doing. I'm assuming the contestants knew that she'd messed up and they were trying to make her feel better by just like laughing with her rather than being like, holy crap, what have you done? I would be like, do you want to go film it right now? Do you think we're allowed to do that? The test that she did present in the video was a really good test. Like, she's really good. I found it hilarious that Charlie turned to Beth and said, what size are these circles meant to be? And then Carl literally says that the circles in the canter are a highlight for him. And I'm glad on Beth's behalf that it was Carl judging and not Charlie. And then it was Julia's turn. And she did her dressage test on grass. If any of you have been following my Eventing Ill series, you know that I hate dressage on grass. Dressage on grass is so hard. Carl's comments were so nice, and I thought her halt at the end was so good. It looked like Max actually bowed his head as well. Head went down at the end like, yep, I'm done. It's Molly's turn, but Spencer didn't say anything other than the fact that she's riding a skewbald called Belle. Everyone else got an introduction. Where is hers? But oh my God, Carl Hester loves a skewbald, and he said that Belle was beautiful and had beautiful markings. Had that been my own horse, I'd have just cried there and then. I mean, obviously that is his own preference. Every judge has a preference when it comes to breeds and things like that. Mine would be anything Irish, anything grey. For me, oh my God, that one was the best so far. Becky's turn next on Quinn. Why did they all both start laughing when Spencer said that Becky is a weather presenter for BBC Midlands? Like someone went on TV, but that's it, like, that's not even funny. He mentioned that she's wearing a running martingale, and I actually remembered that earlier on Fifi had a dressage whip. So I did wonder, were they once again not given any more clarification on rules? Do the dressage rules apply, and if so, which ones? Because in BE, we're not allowed a running martingale or any type of martingale, and we're not allowed to carry a whip in the dressage phase. So I'm confused, but I guess Carl did pick up on that and he did mark them accordingly. Ultimately though, I thought everybody did really well. Everyone gave it a good go. Nobody went wrong on their test, which you would have expected considering they got to film that as many times as they needed to, I guess. Except for the fact of Gareth and Beth. I feel like maybe you should have just gone wrong on your test. So let me get dressed and let's go to part 2.